If you've inserted a sketch picture into a part, you can use AutoTrace to trace the image. AutoTrace is fast, but it can be tricky to get good results consistently depending on the quality of your image, how you set it up, and other factors. If you're using AutoTrace, there are a few tips on the image that will get you better results. You should use a high-resolution image if possible, with a minimum of 300 dots per inch. Line art should ideally be pen on paper, with precise contours, and as high of a contrast as possible. You also want the colors in the image to be as uniform as possible, meaning minimal shading of gradients. Black and white or other high-contrast images work the best. Again, it might take you some practice to use AutoTrace effectively on a consistent basis, but once you do, it's much quicker than tracing an image by hand. I'll begin by activating the AutoTrace add-in by going to Add-ins and checking the checkbox next to AutoTrace. With the AutoTrace add-in active, I'll double-click the sketch picture to bring up its Property Manager. Notice it now has a forward arrow at the top of the Property Manager. I'll click the arrow to switch from the sketch picture properties to the AutoTrace properties. There are a lot of trace tools, and I definitely recommend playing around to figure out the method you like best. First, choose a selection tool and create a border around the part of the image you're trying to trace. If you've used Photoshop before, you're probably familiar with these tools, such as the lasso and the rectangular marquee. Once you've selected the image, click Begin Trace to have AutoTrace trace the image. You'll see a preview of the traced image appear in blue, and you can use the adjustment sliders below to adjust the tolerances. You might have to spend some time tweaking the sliders to get it perfect, but it's quicker than tracing it yourself. Once the sketch geometry looks correct, click Apply and it's added to the sketch. Notice the Property Manager stays open, and you can repeat the process selecting a different area of the image to trace. Once you've gotten everything converted to sketch geometry, just click the green check, and you're done.